football high office following his victory in a landmark election triumph over former President Walter Nyamilandu at the Sunbelt Hotel in Mzuzu on the 16th of December 2023. Haiya's election victory came on a platform of his campaign under the auspices of transforming the game, which is also the backbone theme of his election manifesto. After 1 year in office, we look at his leadership, which is premised on reforms and development of football from the grassroots, and how a foundation for future success has been laid. As we stalk the key highlights of Haiya's achievements as head of FAM in the first year of his leadership, these are some of the significant milestones FH and his team have achieved. Achieving strategic partnerships. Within the first year, Haiya's leadership has secured a 3-year sponsorship for the new Nation Division League from NBS Bank worth 1 billion kwacha. It has enhanced engagement with the corporate world by hosting a corporate sponsors meeting that led to new partnerships as well as improved running deals. Facilitated the retainership and raising of football sponsorships, among them Airtel Malawi sponsorship. Airtel Top 8 raised by 188% from 243 million kwacha to 688 million kwacha. Castel Challenge Cup sponsorship up from 320 million kwacha to 400 million kwacha. FDH Bank Cup raised from 120 million kwacha to 150 million kwacha. TNM Super League sponsorship from 150 million kwacha to 500 million kwacha a season. The Haiya administration also initiated the signing of parts with the Morocco FA for football development. Locally, it signed an MOU with the Football Legends Association to enhance cooperation with the former stars on football development and engaged members of parliament on their role in developing and transforming the game in Malawi. On governance, with FH at the helm of the country's FA, came the launching of the first ever farm strategic plan spanning from 2024 to 2034. The strategic plan was a missing link in Malawi's football, providing direction and platform to evaluate performance. FAM also commissioned the Eastern Region Football Association to ensure that the region is not disenfranchised in terms of football administration in the country. Member associations in the first year have seen their annual subventions significantly increased from 10 million kwacha to 30 million kwacha, and FAM also purchased motor vehicles for affiliate bodies to ease their mobility challenges. For the first time in history, FAM ceded 10% of gate takings to Super League clubs as a means of economically empowering top-flight clubs. During the first year, all the mandatory 4 executive committees meetings were held in line with FAM statutes. And to ensure that there is enhanced efficiency in medical, safety and security, media and league development, FAM established ad hoc committees to advise the executive committee on these matters. There were also enhanced capacity building programs where high-level administration and management courses were held as follows: football and competitions management, as well as match organization for youth, beach soccer and district football committee. Elite women's football capacity building workshop. Member association football administration course that attracted all committee members of all member associations. Media workshop for upcoming football journalists. FAM also established first ever Nation Football Supporters platform that will help in mobilizing support for our nation teams, creation of identity among others, as well as improved coordination with supporters to eradicate crowd trouble at local competition matches. In terms of technical improvements and achievements, during Haiya's first year in office, the much-touted export strategy rolled into action with the opening of the Luwinga Inclusive Academy in Mzuzu to become Malawi's first ever high-performance full-time inclusive football academy. 27 boys and 15 girls between the ages of 13 and 16 were selected across the country and will receive more intensive and focused training so that they can quickly learn and improve their skills for elite performance. Within the same spectrum, the new leadership at FAM rejuvenated youth football by investing into schools and youth football. Within the same year, the FH-led FAM guided our beach soccer nation team to back-to-back AFCON qualifications as well as to a bronze medal at the COSAFA Beach Soccer Tournament.
And then he does find the back of the net, Isaac Kijamu.
The FH administration restructured the FAM technical panel, which produced some positive results in the final AFCON qualifying matches against Burundi and Burkina Faso, giving hope of improved results in the remaining 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers next year. We can also talk of high-level technical workshops that took place in 2024 among them. First ever video assistant referee training for 35 local referees as FAM aims to introduce VAR in future. A young referees course aimed at building elite referees. CAF B coaching course which targeted former Flames players. A first ever players performance analyst for league coaches. FAM recorded some level of success leading the under-15 girls team to AFCON Schools Championship qualification and the under-20 boys nation team to 4 Nations Cup glory. And to cap it all, on the technical front, FAM ensured that all nation teams, the Flames, the Scorchers, under-20 boys, under-17 boys and girls, under-15 boys and girls, and Big Soccer took part in the international competitions of their categories in 2024. Now let's go to infrastructure and technical programs. As pointed out earlier, after over a decade of false starts, FAM completed works and opened the Luinga Technical Center in Mzuzu. We also, through a procurement process, identified a contractor and commenced works at the Nsanje Stadium project, which is nearing completion. We cannot skip the hosting and the receipt of a funding commitment from FIFA President Gianni Infantino on key infrastructure projects in Lilongwe as a key milestone within the first year of FH leadership. Let's now look at competitions. In the very first year of Haiya's administration, FAM showed its ability to manage high-level international football competitions by successfully hosting the first of its kind, a 4 Nations tournament at the Bingu National Stadium in Lilongwe, which featured A-class teams of Malawi, Zambia, Kenya, and Zimbabwe, and the under-20 boys team for Malawi, Kenya, and Zimbabwe. During the period under review, we also hosted the Women's CAF Champions League COSAFA qualifiers at the Mpira Stadium in Blantyre. FAM in 2024 introduced the Nation First Division, which will be bankrolled by as the country's second tier league to improve competition at all levels. At the same time, FAM harmonized regional leagues to have one structure. This included incorporating district leagues in the main football pyramid. The new FAM leadership also initiated the switch of the football calendar to align with the international football calendar. It also enhanced safety and security at football matches by conducting first ever high-level CAF stewardship training. And as evidence of the structural improvements, FAM, after many decades, introduced night matches for club competitions to enhance fans' experience at matches. Over and above, we successfully managed all top-level local football competitions, among them the Charity Shield, FDH Bank Cup, Airtel Top 8, Castel Challenge Cup, the TNM Super League, the Goshen Women's National Championship, the FCB Under-19 National Championship, and the HTD. How about commercial and marketing? It will go on record that in 2024, FAM increased its member association sponsorship portfolio from 1.06 billion kwacha in 2023 to 1.4 billion kwacha in 2024, representing an upward adjustment of 38.2%. FAM also reviewed gate management models, which led to the record revenue in matches played in the FDH Bank Cup and Airtel Top 8 2024 final. There were also some good news with increased Mpira TV revenue of 150%, while media rights revenue also grew by 30%. It was FAM's initiative for the use of e-ticketing platforms to reduce pilferage and improve football revenue correction. FAM continued making an impact on the society with the FAM Charter Shield initiative, which in 2024 raised 46.3 million kwacha for the construction of ventilated toilets facilities for Kanjowi and Kampudza schools in Salima. Amid the solid triumphs, we have faced some challenges. Our men's senior team struggled in the year under review, missing out on AFCON qualification and slipping on FIFA rankings. The men's junior and women's teams also fell short in the competitions they participated. The poor performance of the nation team is largely due to funding constraints in the short-term assessment and unstructured foundations in the long, leading to limited preparations in the former and disastrous performances in the latter. All in all, the Fleetwood Haiya-led administration at FAM has proved that Malawi football can really be transformed with sound, visionary, and dedicated leadership. Within the year, there have been a host of challenges that Haiya and his team are navigating. Lessons have been learned while laying a solid foundation to achieve its goals of making Malawi a football dominant force, not only in this part of the world, but on the world stage as well. With this picture, we can declare without any fear of contradiction that Haiya and his team are on course in transforming the game.
Richard Mbulu, chigoli chachiwiri cha timu ya Malawi.
Dzina langa ndine Kim Gamau, soccer analyst, nimakhala kuno ku Lilongwe, aliyense amadziwa.
Mr. Fleetwood Haiya, 23.
Thank you very much. That was reflecting 365 days transforming the agenda. Minute nanenera kunena kuti nkhani ndiyo kuti tikakhala kuti tikuchita chinthu timayenera kumvanso kuchokera kwa ma stakeholders kuti anthu amene akukhudzidwa ndi zimene zikuchitika akunenapo chani. Good leadership imayenera kuti izikhalanso ndi nthawi yomvetsera kwa anthu amene akuwatumikira. Therefore tipereke mpata kuti timve kuti ma stakeholders in football analankhula zotani after 365 days of Fleetwood Haiya's reign.
Dzina langa ndine Kim Gamau, soccer analyst, nimakhala kuno ku Lilongwe, aliyense amadziwa kuti makhala ku Lilongwe. Mwina pa chaka choyamba cha president Fleetwood Haiya FH komanso ndi entire executive yawo tinganene kuti yakhala yopambana kwambiri pa magawo osiyanasiyana. Mwina andikambako magawo amene mwina azachitika mwina ku marifarizi mukati muone marifari akhala ali ndi ma training osiyanasiyana komanso marifari athu akhala kupita ku Kosafa ena apita kupita ku CAF Champions League Confederations Cup komanso sikuti angwasira momwepo kuliso training ya video assistant referee VAR kutengera kuti mpira wa masiku ano uli ndi makono ndiye ku Malawi kuno president sanafune kuti titsalire kuti mwina tizoona anzathu akupanga za video assistant referee. So maphunziro amene akubwerawo ndi maphunzironso othandiza kwambiri sanasire pomwepo komanso makochi anaphunzitsidwa. Taona ma former players ambiri akupanga nawo ma course CAF A, CAF B, CAF C. Taona makochi ngati Peter Mponda, McDonald Yobe, Andrew Chikosi, Robert Baji Ongambi, onsewo apanga nawo maphunziro kusonyeza kuti executive imene ikuganizira ma former players sitingayiwale atulankhani so ndi amodzi amene amatukula masewero ampira. Mutha kuona kuti ubale wa FAM ndi mwina ndi atolankhani mbuyomu umakhala ngati kuti otalikirana amene mwina amakhala kuti mwina ali ndi ma connections kuti mwina adzipeza information amakhala omweomwewo ochepekera mwina awiri atatu. So panopa apanga expand kuti mtolankhani wina aliyense sakuona kuti uyu akuchokera community radio kudzimwe kapena uyu akuchokera ku Nsanje kapena uyu akuchokera ku Mzimba kapena uyu achokera ku Ntutupyo Kalonga, onsewo awapanga kuti akhale chimodzimodzi. Mwina anthu ena zimene apangazi anakatha kupanga mwina pa 5 or 12 years, koma awawa apanga mu 365 days. Ndiye tiwapemphe president komanso ndi komiti yawo kuti apitirize zimenezi zimene Malawi amafuna.
Ine ngati Higa Nkandawire ndimayankhulira pa nkhani za mpira kuti ndifotokoze kwambiri zimene wapangira FH ndi executive yonse ya FAM mu 365 days. Ndikuona ngati kuti pa 15 goals imene analonjeza FH ayisesa kwambiri makamaka ku nkhani ya kodi matimu athu kupanga participate mu ma competitions chachitika ndi chani. Ndikuona ngati koyamba matimu onse kupanga participate. Ndaonapo under 17 inapita ku South Africa, under 20 inapita ku Mozambique, komanso taonanso 4 Nations tournament inachitika ku Lilongwe, komanso taonanso senior team kupanga participate mu AFCON osadandaula za ma transport kapena iya zosiyana ma logistics. Taona kuti kuyesesa kumene iyeyo anakozekera kuti iyeyo akhale president ndi azizake onse ayisesa kwambiri.
Okay, dzina langa ni Antonio Manda, ndine General Secretary wa Central Region Football Association. Chaka choyambirira chenicheni cha Bambo Fretu Rahia ndi komiti yawo. Ifeyo ngati ku Central Region Football Association taona kusintha kwambiri. Kusintha kwake kuna kuti ma issues to do with the subversion tikabe mphathu kumalandira on time. Komanso bwanawo zikuoneka kuti ma functions athu onse amene takhali nawo, he's been there for us. Zikusiyana amene zimakhala ambuyo mukuti tsogolera apezeke pa function athu zimavuta. China ndichonena kuti ubale wathu ndi ma sponsor zikuoneka kuti zili bwino chifukwa Bambo Fretu Rahia ndi komiti yawo zikuoneka kuti analenga so step yokumana ndi ma sponsor athu aja kucheza nawo. Zikuoneka bwino, and in terms of mpira pa ground zikuoneka bwinonso kwambiri chifukwa ngati ku Central Region kuno transformative agenda kunoko tayilandira bwino, because you can agree with me kuti for the past seasons tinali ndimavuta maphokoso mwina malifali kumenyedwa things like that. Koma this time around tikufika December kumapeto koma palibe imene ichitika magema kumenyedwa bwinobwino.
Ine ndine Patrick Mparati, Vice Chairman wa Southern Region, kuti ndifotokoze pa ulamuliro wa Fretu pa chaka chimene chaka chimodzi moyendesa wapanga zinthu zambiri wasintha mpira muchidule tingati wapanga transform the game. Apapa ndi mmene zilili monga ine wa Southern Region uno kumwera watichita zinthu zapamwamba kwambiri. Mutha kuona pano ma region onse pano atigulira magalimoto amene tingatogwisa ntchito zimene mbuyomu panalibe pasinachitikepo zona kuti region nkumapezeka kuti ili ndi galimoto. Komanso a president ahaya abweresa kuti region ayipasa mphamvu zimene zikuonesa kusogoloku kupezeka kuti tizimenya national league, so that league ya region iliyonse panapa ili ndi mphamvu zochuluka.
Tine Pasienya Su, General Secretary wa Northern Region Football Association. Choyambirira ife ngati anthu oyendesa mpira ku chigawo cha Kumpoto ndife anthu onyadira kwambiri komanso osangalala pa nthawi imene tikunena kuti takwanisa masiku 365 tili mu ulamuliro wa president wa nyuwani amene ali FH Fretu Rahia. Komano pa ulamuliro wake taona zinthu zambiri zimene zosiyana kwambiri ndi mmene zinkakhalira kumbuyo. Choyambirira tinene kuti mpira wathu makamaka maligi athu panopa akukhazikika kwambiri, ma sponsors ambiri apanga adjust ma sponsorship package. Komanso ifeso kwa kulukulu ngati kuchigawo cha Kumpoto atithandizira kwambiri kuti tipeze ma sponsors ena mpaka na panopa tunena ligi yathu ili pa 25 million. Komano zazikulu zimene taonapo zimene apresident athu apanga pa nthawi imene tikunena kuti tikusangalala 365 days. Makamaka mukukumbukira kuti kumbuyo konseko mwina ma-AGM ambiri ankachitika kumangopita mwina anthu 6 komanso anthu awiri komano for the first time titapita ku AGM kumangochi zinaonesa kuti makomiti onse anapita komwenso kunakachitika administration course imene ikutithandizira kwambiri kuti tionjezere nzeru zimene tinali nazo kale amene timayendesera masewero ampira athu.
Ine Benjamin Tole ndinosikita lero kuti Hamas kunachungamu mu chaka chimodzi chapitachi mulamulo wanyuwani wa bwana Fiti Mphaya at least ziyamikile zambiri za sintha ya one game per week. Mbuyo ndimboni yanga ndimamenya magame awiri per season per week, of which napeza kuti matimu amana fatigue timatoba game 1 Sunday game 2 of which sinaibune bampira ino nakanova mene tina ulamulo nimene nasinchaula kuti zimenya game imodzi per week nokhala ndimboni kuti there's a huge competition. Mbuyo ndikango kuti bullets wonders onova iso ndimboni Mzuzu the Hammers number 4 komanso you can see timu so yafika mu kasemu Castel Cup final. It shows kuti we are transforming the game.
Dzina langa ndine Shami Nkunda ndino wakulilongwe ndita kuyifotokoza chaka cha Freedom High motere ndikona ngati mpirabe wa sintha tukamba kankhani ya revenue ya kumpira ndaona kusintha kwambiri tukumava wano machiro zori chakuti tatola mabingu mwakuti kuwanika 1.8 billion zimene zinthu yani zimene ife sili maziziwo kuti kodi kumpira kuzimatheka tingatukwanisa Malawi kuti kuno kumpira wathu uli ndi ndalama chonchi tukumathaso kuona kuti ayi apanga sosi kumpira wachitsozera ndalama zochuluka mwakuti sonjera kuziwa kuti mpira umayochoka kuti umachokera kumene kujaku ku grassroots ndi kuti kumene kujaku ngati sikuyenda bwino mpira so kujani sungende bwino koma tikuona zoti akupanga tako jani malose tumaonesa kuti beach soccer ngakeso zinakati vura ngono kumabeti kuona kuti yayi tumaona beach soccer mafika malevuza mpira kutani mpira kusini.
Zina langa ndine Steria Mwalule Mrs Muhone ndi masapotera Manoma Nyelele ndi timu yathu. Mulamuliro wa ahaya taona zinthu zingapo zosintha. Matimu akupindula muti tilegeze kumbali ya zinkho zikutengedwa ndi matimu osiyana-siyana. Sizi kumakhala za timu imodzi yomweyo kumango winayi. Pali matimu osiyana-siyana amene atenga zinkho. Wanderers atenga Castel. Paliso matimu ena atenga zinkho zina. Ndi tikuona zinthu zosintha kwa basi. Chisogolo monga mene anabwera president athu ahaya. Chiyembekezo changa ndichokuti maplayer athu ndingathe kukondwa ndikhulupiraso ambiri angathe kukondwa titamaona akusewera matimu akunja matimu aku Europe. Higher transforming the game.
Wow. Come on, we can do better than that. We can do better than that. Thank you. Inejimene ndamva akuti in 365 days ahaya abweretsa Mzuzu City Hammers, and we can agree. We all can agree. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me at this juncture to invite our band, Diminished Band, to give us one piece, and then we will have another video on future outlook. What is Fleetwood Higher promising for the next 365 days? Over to you, band.
Mula dilem jimawa anga mwandi patsa mzimu wanu atipatsa zipaso ndiye mundiyankhetu ndiye atipatsa simukumveka wofa anatsika timbenso komaliza koma mokweza ndiye atipatsa wofa anatsika kumwambawo ndiye chifukwa chokuti zonse zimene taona apa zingokamba haiya good money haiya akhale kasongo yeye mumbali nanga kasongo mbona wewo lero akhale kasongo eti okay. Sure. Mama nasira za nini we bwana wataka kuniua bure baba wako hayuko wangu hayuko chuki ya nini kati yangu mimi na wewe chuki ya nini kati yangu mimi na wewe lile oh mama nasira za nini we bwana wataka kuniua bure baba yule si wako nane si wangu chuki ya nini kati yangu mimi na wewe chuki ya nini kati yangu mimi na wewe lile oh mama nasira za nini we bwana wataka kuniua bure baba wewe una wako nyumbani nane nina wangu nyumbani chuki ya nini kati yangu mimi na wewe chuki ya nini kati yangu mimi na unanasema sina makosa we bwana sina makosa we bwana yeah. makosa wetaka Kembalasha, wataka kuniua bure. Sina makosa we bwana, sina makosa we bwana, sina makosa we bwana, sina makosa kikulacho bekikuoni wako, kikulacho bekikuoni wako, rafiki yako alubi yako, rafiki yako alubi yako. Ina ninaona dele, ninaona dele, ninaona dele, naona yeah. Ina ninaona dele, ninaona dele, ninaona dele, ninaona yeah.
A big round of applause for Diminished Band. Wow, thank you so much. Ndimayang'ana nditu mmene sambo amakungira bwino. Ndaona nyimbo yoyamba ija yatha nditu, yangoyamba ina ija ndimayenda naye ndimacheza naye, ndaona Honorable Minister sakanapilira koma anayamba poko vina. So beautiful rhythm there, Diminished Band. Thank you so much. Pamene tikupitirira ndi program yathu amainda abambo muli kuno komanso nonse amene mukutitsatira pa makanema osiyanasiyana kuno ku Malawi, tikufuna tipitirire ndi program yathu titatha kuona zimene zachitika the past 365 days, komanso kuti kodi ma stakeholders anthu amene amakhudzidwa ndi mpira anenapo chani, alankhulapo chani za ulamuliro wa Fleetwood Haiya. Tsopano tikufuna tione kuti kodi kupita kutsogolo masiku 365 amene akubwera mchaka cha 2025 akutisungira zotani. Take team.
All in all, I would say come next year, our plan is to continue building on this foundation that we've laid. When it comes to grassroots, we have seen the opening of Zuzu, the Luwinga Inclusive Academy. We believe that come next year is also going to help us to maximize on the partnership that we have with Malawi School Sports Association, where we want to extend such academies into secondary schools, into government schools through the School of Excellences. And technically, we want to continue. Like Malawi, we don't have our own syllabus for CAF coaching license, for example, for A. We want to make sure that we introduce our own syllabus so that we can be conducting A license on our own. And this is going to happen as other countries are already doing. 2025 is a year that I would say it will be a year that is going to be easier to us, unlike maybe 2024, where we're busy maybe building the foundation. But come next year, it will be very easy for us to ride on this foundation that we have created. And I can assure you that next year, there will be more milestones that we are going to achieve, more than what we have achieved in 2024. We have already indicated to given the vacancy to government. We are in talks with them to help us to find a permanent coach. But as we speak today, we do have an interim coaching panel, which is for the women's, we have got Fazili, and for the men's, we have got Pasura, who is leading us. We want to make sure that our calendar is aligned with our regional calendar, or I should say CAF calendar. This is something that we have been preaching, something that we have been asking for many years, but we are going to make into realization because now we're in the office. We are going to start moving this shift starting from next year. We know that it's not going to take 1 year, it may take 2 years for us to go into that realm of the regional calendar. But starting from next year, we are going to make sure that even the congestion is no longer there. Starting with Air to Top 8, we are going to make sure that Air to Top 8, since we have already, the names or the teams that are going to compete, they are already determined through the Chenem Super League. What it means is that the Air Top 8 is going to start as soon as possible before the league. This is to reduce the congestion. And some other cups, you see, they're going to be played in good time to reduce the congestion. Not only that, we are also going to make sure that our involvement in some of the international competitions, especially for the national teams, we are going to make sure that they should not affect our league. For example, talking of COSAFA, we still take COSAFA as a developmental tournament, and we are going to make sure that only developmental squads are going to be playing in these tournaments. Yes, every Malawian is ready and willing and wanting for us to win COSAFA, but at the same time, we should not blame to COSAFA people whom we know that they've already done well. We need to make sure that we should blame people that we are going to develop, players that we are going to develop, to make sure that tomorrow we have got a bigger and skilled team that can compete even at a continental stage. Next year it will be a very competitive season, and we believe that it is going to be a better season compared maybe to 2024. You can see that the National Division League is something that we secured in 2024, but is starting in 2025. So the whole reason of us having the National Division League is none other than to make sure that our Super League is very competitive. You can agree with me that each and every year, most of the teams that qualify to go into the league, they end up maybe the same year being relegated. Why? Because most of these teams, it's not like they're not good, but they're not used to play football across or beyond their borders, of the regional borders. So you can imagine that teams who were playing in the Northern Region or Central Region or Southern Region, they were used to play within that region. Now, if you rush them to go into the league, which is the hottest or the first tier of your football, no wonder they burn out, no wonder they end up maybe relegated the same year. So we are saying, let's prepare these teams. This is where we have got the National Division League, whereby it will be played nationwide. The whole reason is to make sure that we prepare, we have a competitive league. Now, the ones who are going to win in the National Division League are the ones that are going to qualify to go to Super League. We believe that by bringing this second tier to the Super League is going to bring more competition, is going to bring more skill, is going to bring more good players to the national team. I believe that the opening of Luinga Inclusive Academy, where currently we have already enrolled 25 boys and 17 girls, whom we are accommodating at Luinga. We are the ones, with the farm is currently responsible for their school fees and everything. We had a good agreement with their parents and everything. So these kids are like our kids now as Football Association of Malawi. We believe that with this, most of our areas that we've been talking about, starting our football from grassroots, is going to start. And I'm saying it's not only Luinga Inclusive Academy, but we are also exploring with the Malawi School Association, Sports Association, where we're saying we need to also open up the School of Excellences, whereby, for example, each and every education zone should have at a minimum maybe one center. This is going to help us to unpack what most of our strategies, one of which being the export strategy. You know, for us to export players, you need to teach them while they're young. We cannot export players while they are aged, you know, maybe say 28, 30 years. We believe that at 17, 18, 19 years, these players can easily be exported. So one of the benefits that I see out of this is, number one, we're going to have a strong squad. We're talking of starting from under 17, our under 20, our under 23, even our main team. In 2 years, 3 years, these kids are going now to be playing in our national team. You can agree with me now that football these days, most of the players that we know, maybe there are 2-3 exceptions, like maybe Cristiano Ronaldo and all those, but most of the players that you know today, if you look at their age, they are teenagers. So why? Because they went through this channel of academy. We believe us, by starting this academy with compliments from other academies that we have in the land, And also, if we go hand in hand with government through the School of Excellences, I believe that we are going to unlock more benefits that we believe that the grassroots is going to give to Malawi.
Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the man of the moment himself, in flesh and blood, allow me to invite Fleetwood Haya for his remarks. A round of applause.
Honorable Minister, Honorable Uchizi Kandawire MP, my executive committee, all members from member associations affiliated to FAM, the invited guests, distinguished invited guests, the members of the media, diminished band. I was wondering, is diminished band because of the height or what? Good evening. Tonight is indeed a very special night, which marks our first anniversary being in charge of the Football Association of Malawi. And I stand here before you, honored and humbled, to look back and reflect with both admiration and reservations on our football transformation agenda. Let me thank God Almighty for the gift of life, for the gift of wisdom, for the gift of health, gift of strength, and also grace that He bestowed upon me and also my team, my executive committee. Tonight, I stand in front of you to register my profound thanks and gratitude to football stakeholders, both locally and abroad. And on the same vein, let me also recognize the support that we as executives got from our family members. So our families, my wife, wherever you are, I see my brothers, they, and everyone that is watching us tonight, please receive our gratitude, because we know that on our own we couldn't have made this journey possible. But these 365 days has been easy for us because of your support, because of your intervention, because you have been interceding for us. So we say thank you very much. As we set on the 10-year plan to transform the game of football in Malawi, I want to take this opportunity to remind all of you what Football Association of Malawi is. So I'm saying this, I know most of us, we know what Football Association of Malawi is, but maybe we don't understand what's the objectives, what's the vision, what's the responsibility of Football Association of Malawi. I think they have been a mix whereby others have asked us to do some responsibilities which are for government, thinking is the responsibility for farm. Maybe responsibility for teams of building their own stadiums, thinking is the responsibility of farm to build stadiums. So, on the objectives, why is it that farm was established? Number one is to develop, to promote, to supervise, and or to control and regulate the game of football, beach soccer, and also futsal. Currently, we do not have a competitive league or cup for futsal, but it is within our mandate that we should control, supervise, promote, develop, and also regulate futsal within Malawi. And this has to be in accordance with the spirit of fair play and is unifying educational, cultural, humanitarian values, and indeed particularly through the youth and development programs. Another objective is to encourage the sport of football at a national level in the spirit of fair play. In brief, what I wanted to say is that as Football Association of Malawi, we are a regulatory body. We are more or less as a regulatory body. There have been calls whereby maybe people asking to say, why is it under 15 traveled on the road? Are you people at farm mad or what? Why didn't you fly those kids? Zona mgaende se ana babasi, ukafika nao ku Namibia. Are you crazy or what? So, nimafuna ningo yanka, mobweza mau pangono eti. Kuti mkazawo na ana ataenda babasi, uzango zwati ndio tichithandizo kuboma sichinadani. Koma famu ikufuna ISSB kuti anaja akamenye chani. You get the point, eh? It is our responsibility to make sure that football must happen. Tikaona kunena kuti munu wake wa national team, which is government, mwina sana tipase zoyenera zokwanira ifeyo timayesesa as Football Association of Malawi to make sure kunena kuti we should not steal the talent, we should not kill the talent of those kids, but help government to make sure that those kids have been given the opportunity. So nimafuna ndi longosoli pamene pa kunena kuti siku lina mzamva mwina siti kumenya mchani. I can assure you, if government can give us everything, be assured, World Cup timenya. Tikumvana eti? It's a promise. But we make sure that within the same resources that government do give us, we should make sure that most of these competitions we should participate. Let's be honest. Tonse muno ndagula gulu. Sitonse amene tinabadwira magesi, sitonse amene tinabadwira mutala, sitonse amene kwati kunali kuchita bwino. Koma through the little resources we managed olomakolo athu anatilera pano takula tafika pamene tilipa. What I'm trying to say is, even within those limited resources, we need to fight. Even within those limited resources, we should not slack back. No. Football Association of Malawi, under my leadership, we are saying we are going to move on. We are going to transform the game to make sure that we move on despite the limited resources. As we reflect the 2024 and 2025, let me also make a special mention of gratitude to the President of FIFA, Mr. Gianni Infantino, and also Dr. Patrice Motsepe, who is the president for CAF, and the COSAFA leadership. Let me also thank government for being there for us. Let me thank government for being there for us. Today, I can say, as you have seen on the projector, we have managed to participate in each and every competition. Especially when it comes to the youth, I did not allow our youth to miss any tournament. You're talking of under 15, under 17, under 20, both girls and boys. This is where my heart is. This is where my leadership, together with my exco, we believe that football in Malawi, to be transformed, we need to consider grassroots. We need to think of grassroots. And we are not only there. It's not only about the players. We are also talking about the friends to football. We are talking of the coaches. From the projector, we have seen the workshops of young coaches. We have seen the workshops for young referees. And we do have young referees in Malawi who are doing well at the COSAFA region. This is because we believe that those are the youth that are going to be our leader in the next 2-3 years. We are not here to stay for 19 years, I can assure you. But I want to tell you, that in the next 2-3 years, these kids, for example, the ones that were enrolled at Luwinga, these under 15, under 16 kids, in the next 2-3 years, they'll be 18 years. If these kids can be given a platform to be trained properly, to be fed right food, to be educated, as Football Association of Malawi, we do believe that we have to balance football and education. Nowadays, football is science. It's very hard for a player to be a very good player with zero education. We have heard most of the players in England, Rashford, maybe skipping training, going to write chemistry. We want to emulate the same, to make sure that our players are educated. Look at Kina Piri today. He's no longer playing. But Kina is a deputy director. Why? He's learned. Most of our players, especially my generation, most of the players, we were given an option to say, mukufuna skulu kapena mufuna mpira. Ngati mufuna mpira tapanganiza mpira. Ngati mufuna skulu mupangiza skulu. Musasabwereso kumpira. As a result, most of my generation, we were deprived of the educational rights. And I can assure you that it's very hard for my generation players to negotiate even a contract. Pena player kumuuza kuti uzilandira 300 kukana unati inebola 250. Mkunena kuti kodi pamene pandeso khala bwanji. So we do recognize that we cannot do football without education. This is why we are saying Luwinga Technical Center will be one of the places that we believe we are going to realize our dream of transforming the game, and also in collaboration with government on this school of excellences that we are talking about. And also we are talking of registration of other academies that are already established. We believe the export strategy is possible. Agul, who would want to buy a player who is 39 years old? National team yathu. The past 3 games, you find out kuti maplayer to age. Okay? Of course, you have people like 29 years. I mean the real age. Okay? Ndi maplayers onena kuti ngati ineyo ndinamba kwasirira ndisanambe kumenya mpira. Koma mpaka na lero la kumenyabe. Okay, this should tell us, should give us a signal. But I'm saying with my executive, while we are is at our heart. But trust me, as I said, without your support, I'm talking of the affiliates, I'm talking of the corporate world, I'm talking of our sponsors, I'm talking about the prospective sponsors, I'm talking about the families. It's not easy. It couldn't have been easy. Those critics, those people who criticize us, you need to understand, my leadership with my EXCO, we do believe that continue criticizing us. Because for us, kunena kuti azija ife tinasankhamo zabwino ndi zimene
It's about time.
$5 million.
It's about time.
Saying tikonzana koma tikonzane constructively, because that is going to help our football to go miles. As we have now built a foundation, I trust on the support of all of you to turn our dream into reality. Let us keep supporting each other and to achieve our goals. Let us also hold hands and build a strong football nation through strategic objectives as one people united by football. Finally, let me also thank the supporters. I can see supporter in our Mponda, sikuti mmenye. Mponda, sikuti mmenye. Amanditukwana kwambiri. Anthu amandifunsa moti kufamu kuti bwana ndemukumuitana Mponda ku function imene iyi amakutukwana nitu. I'm like, actually amatukwana komano zambiri amalemba zomveka zimatithandizira. Tikumvana eti? Sindikuziwa kuti apa pana kantukwana bwanji nakhala Wanderers sinatenge Castello ichi. But now he's a happy man. So let me appreciate the supporters. We have had 365, which was very fantastic, no issues. And let me also appreciate the media. Let me also appreciate the media for the work well done. It is very true that football cannot be sold without media. We had a media training a few days ago where I also said the same. If the media is against football, just know that kamupanga mpira zolongosoka media izifuna zina. Okay? Tiwale enaja olo Flames iwine ama taito momoda anene kuti Flames ya wina. Emakhala kuti too late. Ariyan, too little, too late. Guys, let's celebrate the win. dead labor atitaombera koma yopanda ntchito. Guys, sanachire. In football, every game is important. And you know what happened? Malawi was at 134 position FIFA ranking. Just by winning against Burkina Faso 3-0, we moved 3 steps. I think we were at 131 by the time that I checked the FIFA ranking. And you should check Burkina Faso, what happened to their standing. They dropped, I think, 4 steps, to the extent that they were summoned by their Minister of Sports to say, we gave you everything, why is it that you have dropped 4 steps instead of going up? But it was all Malawi. So every game is very important. Even if it is the last game, it is very important for our transformation. So let me also say that we did hand over for the vehicles which were given to the Legion associations and also the Super League of Malawi. I want to also unveil tonight that we have also managed to procure or secure 5 more vehicles. These vehicles are outside. You'll see. So, pa president ndiye mweyo po, muzina president wa famu ndiye mweyo. Otherwise, a minister ga kamlando ru. To be honest with you, you can't believe that even our technical director did not have a vehicle. Even our CEO, he had a Nissan, of course, Magamo Romeo. Football Association of Malawi CEO. No. When you go outside, you see what befit the CEO. Mugawo Nano Kabanja. CEO, but I'm not asking you to use that vehicle to go Wamayango no Chanchana. Can you imagine? We never had a car for the coach. We used to hire a car. I found FAM hiring a vehicle for a coach and paying almost 5 million kwacha every month, which is equal to 60 million kwacha a year, which is equal to, in 4 years' time, is 400 a year? 240 million. Guys, why don't we just buy a car worth even 240 million and give this person? Come on, we've bought a car worth about 70 million, 80 million, a brand new car. By the way, these cars that we're talking about, they are not Japanese cars. These are brand new cars with I wanted to say with 0 mileage, but it can never happen because the cars are here. Okay, but you need to understand, there are some other things that with the support from my exco, my finance chair, why paying 60 million for a vehicle hire for a year? If you are capable of doing that, why don't you just buy a vehicle worth okay, we have bought a vehicle of about 80 million to these guys, and I'm saying those vehicles can be depreciated over, they are brand new vehicles, they can be depreciated over 5 years. I'm saying the benefit only for these vehicles, the 9 vehicles, is more than $1 billion that we are saving. Thanks to you for choosing the executive that was visionary, the executive that is listening, and the executive that we believe is also going to transform the game. Finally, I understand we do have the last projection, so our eyes to the screen. So basically, this is what we are promising you that next year mutakulemba it kuti next year ngati sitipanga achieve izi muzati kumbuse. Another Fleetwood, you promised us that you are going to do this. Okay, so firstly we're talking of formalizing MOUs with other FAs. Okay, we have got other MOUs that we need to formalize. Why formalize? Fleetwood, you were talking of you want to sign a MOU. Mesa idiko kali. We want to formalize to make sure that MOU is there. Okay, secure corporate partners for women's and beach soccer. As we speak, most of our athletes, they rely on farm subvention or farms' money for their competitions. You're talking of women's football, you're talking of youth football, you're talking of beach soccer. But I'm saying, ngati angalipere ajina chimbalanga and abaso ndaona Force Ngwira is here. Ngati angalipere kupeza ma sponsors, us as Football Association of Malawi, we are going to make sure that we work hand in hand with them to make sure that next year we find solid sponsors for beach soccer and also for our women's football. We talked about School of Excellences. I'm aware that in the Northern Region, the School of Excellences, it has taken away. But we need also to formalize our partnership with the Malawi School Sports Association and Ministry of Education. And Pameneba, Honorable Minister, Pebani Simland, in our vision, we believe the major of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, together with the Minister of Education, is going to do good and to separate the two. And if you tend to wonder to say, who are we collaborating with? When you are going to school, you would want to say, okay, let me deal with the district sports officer. They will be like, no. Have affected us as football association so much. Securing direct national teams funding from Parliament. Honorable Minister, this is another challenge. You may agree with me that this year our budget was almost 5 billion. The money that we only got was 450 million, not even 10% of our budget. We believe that if we can secure either a direct subvention to the national teams, not to farm, and I wanted to clear here, farm does not receive any subvention. The money that government gives to farm is only for the national teams. The 450 million that we've received this year is only for the national teams, not for the salaries, not for the vehicles. I should thank government on the vehicles because they gave us a duty waiver. Okay, without which, I'm sure it would have been a hassle for us to clear those vehicles. You know, brand new vehicles, they come almost like 50 to 70% duty. So it would have been almost like double the value. So we thank government for that. But when it comes to national team funding, this is a responsibility of government, including Nkanyama coaches. Coach is a civil servant. So Nkani again the so to Pempa kunena kuti chaka cha 2025 ndicholinga chathu kuti tionesese kuti tayika njira yolozeka yonena kuti funding yobwera ku kuja kuboma. Number one, iziziwikiratu for easy planning. Komanso, izioneka soka kugwisidwa ntchito kake mosavuta. That's why we are saying securing a direct national team funding from parliament. Abana na uri unaga akuba ndalama zathu ngati? Okay. Okay, on governance, we are talking about operationalization of National Football Tribunal. We have seen over the years whereby anthu akakhala ndi mlandu kandi player kandi coach kwambiri mina makochi akumathamangira kuja kuma commercial court, industrial court. Komatu FIFA does not allow us to be going into those courts. One day we can be banned from football because of rushing to those courts. Now, FIFA has recommended that each and every FA must have a national tribunal court or a national football tribunal. Court lampira. Court limeneli we already commissioned. And if I'm not wrong, the chairperson for this court is the Deputy Chief of Justice, Love Mochikopa. Justice Love Mochikopa. So, court limeneli tiri kazikisa mwina kugulu by next year. So this is what we are going to do. Complete farm functional review. Titalowa mwofesi kufarm. Tinaloda kwambiri tinapeza kuti kulantu 6 seated. Kumaso kulima directors 6, if not 5. Kumano zochitika zawo kupeza kuti director of competition Gome, ndiye muyesa okhala match coordinator, ndiye muyesa okhala match commissioner. Ndeti matsone wewe kupanga direct ndani, poti ukusipanga so direct work. So tinanena kuti tisana chigunde chinthuchi, let's do a functional review. Tione kuti kodi ndizofunikadi kuti tikhale ndi position komanso ndizofunikadi tikhale ndi anthu 6 seated ngati tili ochepera ndiyo titionjezera komano pamene tili ochuluka ndiyo tikuyenera tichepese ndicho linga chonena kuti we have to be efficient. Establish regional football association offices. As we speak, we do have offices, but now we haven't yet employed the administrators in those offices. We want to make sure that in 2025, we have got people that are going to work in those offices, qualified people who are going to work in those offices, to make sure that the Legion Association, when I talk of the Regional Association, I'm talking of the referees in that region. I'm talking of the coaches in that region, the youth, the women, and the Regional Football Association of that area. So we want to make sure that we have got people that can represent us in those offices, and Football Association of Malawi will be responsible for their employment, for their salaries, and for their everything. Reporting will be due to the Legion Association and also to Football Association of Malawi. We believe that football is a voluntary job. We do not want to punish or to task our affiliates of reports. Nimakumbukira in those days, one of the members complained. I was like, koma akufinansiwa, akunduza report ndatumizira, akunduza so ntumize so report ndatumizira, ndakundifusa so ntumize so report yomwe. So we are saying, moving forward, we should not bother people who vote us, whom we say are our bosses, but we have to employ people. We want to also make sure that we introduce club licensing for National Division League, women's football, and also the regional leagues. We want to also make sure that we facilitate elective AGMs for the OMS in 2025. And on governance, we also want to make sure that we organize the women's football structures. In terms of technical, we are going to make sure that through our chair technical committee, we develop the national football philosophy. Tufuna dikaindi philosophy yatu. Koda Malawi, inu mpira wanu ndo dani. Kodi mamenya Barcelona gavena jani. So we want to have our football philosophy. Okay, we talked about CAF A coaching course. We need to have our syllabus. Next year, working together with government, we want also to make sure that we have got full-time coaches. It's not only for Flames, but all the national teams. I'm talking of under 15, under 17, under 20, and the senior teams, both women and men, and also our beach soccer. Beach soccer yatu, bo malima kanga the city mazi beach soccer illegal. But I'm telling you, it's a team that have been qualifying. For the first time, we have come out number 7 in Africa. Okay, for the first time. But we are saying let's recruit these coaches in 2025. We are also, it is also our wish, after we have said that we are going to make sure that we discuss with government in terms of funding, we believe that we will be able to participate in all competitions for our national teams. I'm talking of women's. Ndukamba are women's because women's, like this year, we haven't done well. They've only competed in COSAFA tournament. But there hasn't been any friendly, there hasn't been any tournament that they've played. But come next year, 2025, we promise that our women are going to play in WAFCON, which is the qualifiers for AFCON, and other competitions. You're talking of 4 Nations tournament. Very soon, maybe we are going to confirm where we may be invited in Zambia, in Ndola, where we're going to play 4 or 6 Nations tournament. We're talking of now on competitions. National Division League is going to be rolled out. Football calendar switch. I think this is something that we've talked at length to say our football calendar has to tie with the international calendar. Tima kanga tukupanga zosiyana. Anzatu akumaliza ife tukuyamba. Anzatu akuyamba ife tukumaliza. Maplayer atu to go for trials zimavuta. Nthawi imene akuyenda kupita ku trials nthawi imene ino silver ili pakaliki kufuna kutenga chikho. How can they allow their player to go for trials? Sizingateke. Now nthawi imene tamaliza ligi anzathu uno kwauko yamba ligi ili ngati pano. Amene maonera English Premier League, amene maonera ku Zambia, amene maonera ku South Africa, pano pa ligi ndi pamene ili nkati. So sitingapite for trials. Ma trials off season yawo inatha kale. So we are saying we have to do that. In terms of commercial and marketing, we believe that we are going to make sure that we host farm awards. These awards will start for 2024. They'll be done in 2025. We are also going to make sure that FAM has got a technical partner. Can you believe Football Association of Malawi never had a partner? Jazz timachita kumaga gula jazz. Koma tukunena kuti yayi. Football Association of Malawi is a big brand. We can have partners. We can have people that can sponsor us. I'm talking of Kandi Puma, Kandi Adimiro, Kandi Adidas, Kandi Nike. That is going to happen in 2025. Mazis, you heard? Yes. And the other thing is to complement government. We also want to make sure that we know that it's not easy for government to give us everything that we need. There are some other items which are of priority. Therefore, we also want to embark on funds memorization to make sure that we mobilize funds. The chaka chimene chikubwerachi, please, tikunena kuti 365 has happened because of you. So we are saying in 2025 we are going to come to you and ask whether we'll be having fundraising activities. We're asking you to not let us be alone, but together we should be able to transform the game of football. Thank you very much.
Zikomo kwambiri mawu opanda chigamba zomveka bwino kwambiri. Thank you so much for sharing with us your vision for 2025. Like you have said, all stakeholders will look up to you and will hold you accountable, and we are all excited chifukwa mmaonetsa kuti muli ndi mtima ufuna kuchita zinthu poyera, kumva maganizo kuchokera kwa anthu ndi cholinga choti mpira ku Malawi upite patsogolo. Ladies and gentlemen in this room and those of you watching us from home, we've come to the end of our program tonight. And panthawi ino mundilole kuti ndikuyamikeni for taking your time kubwera kudzakhala nafe pompano celebrating Fleet Haya's 365 days. Mukanapanda ino kubwera, this would have been an empty room. If you were not there watching in your living room, this would have been in vain. So thank you for being there. Till next time, from me, Keti Kujaliwa BICC, we say good night to you at home. Those of you here, continue enjoying. We're going to have a networking session. Ndiye ndipempe komatisana yambe kunjoya kwambiri kuti Mr. Pilani Zonda adzatitsekere ndipempe.
Tipemphere mupitirire kulandira ulemu komanso matamando Yehova Mulungu wathu chifukwa cha ukulu umene mwaonetsanso pa malo ano. Ambuye tikuti zikomo chifukwa cha zimene tamva, zimene Mulungu mwatiphunzitsa, mwatidziwitsa, mwatitsogolera pa masewero ampira mu dziko lino la Malawi. Tikukuthokozani chifukwa tinalipo mpano mu chaka chatha pamene Mulungu tinamva zopanga transform mpira wathu ku Malawi kuno. Kudzera mwa mtsogoleri Fleetwood Haiya komanso timu yake yonse, tikukupemphani kuti Mulungu zimene atiuza kuti akufuna kuchitira dziko la Malawi, Mulungu mumutsogolere, mumudalitse, muwapase moyo wathanzi wamphamvu wautali wonga munaulemba m'Masalimo. Komanso timu yawo yonse Yehova chimvano chimene ali nacho chikhale chopitirira. Tikupempha inu Mulungu kuti mukakwanirise izi mu dzina la Khristu Yesu. Pamene tidakali malo omwe ano komanso pamene tidzabwerera kumene tachoka, tikupempha chisomo chanu, chifundo chanu, chikondi chanu chikayende nafe kuti tsiku linanso loyikika tidzabwerenso napangira umboni pa zimene Mulungu tauzidwa kuti timva ndi kuonanso mu chaka chimene chili kubwera. Mu dzina la Yesu Kristu tapemphera. Amen.
Amen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite you to a network session. Enjoy the drinks, enjoy the snacks. With your indulgence, honorable
kuno ku BICC ku Lilongwe wata ndipo mtsogoleri wa bungweri wata.
Previously on Yangu Comedy Series.